If you are just tuning in, hello. If you're just tuning in and you are playing this back, that is. Don't know. Well, we'll see. We will see. We will see what happens with the live. If anybody tunes in. I haven't been active on my channel in so long. I don't even know if anybody's coming. And I scheduled a live, but the live that I scheduled, the link is probably going to be different because when I tried to log on to that live, it was actually a dual live. So it was set up for 2 people. So for some reason, I don't know, maybe when I did a live with Jess. Hey Chanel, how are you? I've never done anything like this, but lately I've been really stressed out, so I figured I'll just go live while I am getting ready and putting on makeup because Jess did a get ready with me video and I really enjoy watching those. So, and also like I said, I've just been so stressed with everything in the world. Oh no, what happened? I had to take an Atarax because I think there's a delay, Chanel, from when I get your responses. But oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? I haven't had any hypomania or anything in a long time. And the reason why is because I don't want to admit it, but I started smoking weed again, which I should not do and I need to quit, but it does calm me down and it does avoid hypomania for me. Hey, Rocco! Dog's kind of crazy. I'm gonna go get him. Are you feeling better now? Chanel? Hey, stop, Amy, come here. Come here. You guys stop barking. Oh, Chanel, have you seen the videos of my puppies? I don't know why I'm shouting. Hi guys, if you're there, and you don't know what this channel is all about, I have bipolar disorder. And I share my life living with bipolar disorder. Hi, Kaylin. Are you taking application? I don't have a mod. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I feel so out of control if I do weed. Yeah, no, it's not something I recommend for anyone ever, especially if you have bipolar. It's a really bad idea to use marijuana. That's my opinion. That will always be my opinion. But like I've used it since I was like young, and at this point it's like my body is like accustomed to it, and I've never had any kind of episode when I was on, except for when Freddie died, but that was a severe traumatic event, and my dog that got hit by a car right in front of my face. I don't know what demon possesses. I don't believe in demons though. Yes, Chanel, don't you have access to mod for me? I thought I added you. You should be able to mod. Hey, Rocco! Hold on, you guys. Rocco! Stop barking. Stop it. Both of you. Stop it. Sorry guys, this little man was being a jerk and making all kinds of noise. I'm pretty sure, Chanel, I'm pretty sure you're able to, unless it was Joe's, and if not, I'll get my laptop and give you access right now if you're not. But you should be able to. So if you were scrolling and you just found me, I have bipolar disorder. I live with bipolar disorder. I have this YouTube channel where I share my life living with bipolar disorder. And that's what I make videos about, but I haven't made a lot of videos like that in a long time. I still have done a lot of shorts, but I also have a lot of cute animal videos on my channel, but it's kind of a mix of everything. I'm trying to see if Chanel has access to mod, because, okay, great. Okay, cool. So you do. Let's see. Is the mind just brain chemistry, or is there a soul? I think there's something beyond the brain. Thanks for the warning. Is the mind just okay? I already read that. I have a little ADHD, autism, but I'm not handicapped, and I have OCD. I'm 21 and a Taurus, and I got a Nirvana shirt from Amazon, and I like it, and I got one from Walmart, and I like them. Cool. I have ADHD as well, and it's very frustrating. My husband's constantly asking me to do things, and then I'll forget. Like yesterday, I was doing the laundry. I put the laundry in, and then I came back and did something else, and he's like, "Did you start the laundry?" And I'm like, "No, I forgot." But part of the reason I wanted to do this, like, hi, I'm also bipolar. The lithium makes me explosive and watery. I switched to, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know if that's a joke or not. Yes, thank you, Chanel. Is it snowing in West Virginia? Is that where all the snow is coming down? Thank you for your stream. Yeah, internet, you old geezer. Do you like hockey? Okay, so there's a lot of like random stuff in the chat right now. And I think Chanel's working on it. But yeah, see, gosh, there's so many of you bored people right now. In America, the snowstorm is going crazy. Yeah, I'm in California, so I'm lucky. All we get here is earthquakes, and those don't happen very often. At least not often enough to feel. I hated living bipolar with you. So help me. So you're serious? Like, you were serious, Gooey McDougal? Like, you weren't just trying to be... Sometimes it's hard to know, because sometimes people will say things that are... But side effects from medications are very common and make a lot of us not want to take medication. So it's really hurtful when people say, oh, you know, their disease is all their fault because they don't want to take medication. Sometimes the medication does things to us. It's often the wrong medication. We have to be we're often misdiagnosed. Man, it is bad today. Exercise, F pills. Okay, so Joey Smack. Okay, so I'm going to address that. So he said exercise, get off pills. Okay, so I am 48 years old, and I lived my life up until I was 40 not on medication. And I have what's called a chemical imbalance in my brain, and it's called bipolar disorder. And up until my diagnosis, I experienced severe psychosis. And it's not something that I can control with exercise or anything else. It is a complete detachment from reality. It's almost like taking LSD, but you haven't taken any LSD. It's like taking a really serious upper, but you haven't taken any serious upper. It's like extreme paranoia, and it's not something that I can control. It's not something that I can like talk my way out of. It's like I'm not in reality. So when somebody says something like that, it comes from a place of not understanding bipolar disorder or any other psychiatric disorder. And to that, I would say, do you believe in dementia? do you believe that when people get very old that their brain starts to change, and sometimes they have issues like they get very angry because they're confused, or they start talking nonsense because they're not in reality? That's the same thing that happens with people with bipolar disorder. They have a brain disease, and the brain causes problems. So it's really hurtful when people say that. We have to take medication. At least I do. With paranoia, yeah. So, okay, so TWC Myers 4160 says, I have someone in my family that has bipolar and they get mad easy. So we can blow up. Like, I blow up a lot. Like, I've been blowing up a lot lately at my husband because of all the stress in the world, and I take medication. So like, I manage my symptoms for the most part with exercise and eating right and meditation, although my husband would disagree because I do eat a lot of junk food and haven't been exercising at all lately. For like months I haven't exercised, but I went to yoga yesterday. But anyways, not to get off track, that can be a symptom. Getting mad easy can be a symptom. So I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I grew up my whole life thinking that like I was just like a mean, angry person, and it turns out I have bipolar disorder. So the anger that I was experiencing was symptomatic. Hold on, you guys, my dog's going mental. Hey, you guys! Stop. You're making too much noise. You're being a little brat, and I don't appreciate it. Hey, babe, I'm doing a live stream in the bathroom area. Okay. Yeah, Chanel, what time is it where you are? I hope it's not like the middle of the night and I'm keeping you up. But yeah, let me see. Okay, so let me see. There's a lot of questions I have to answer. So, okay, a snowstorm is going crazy. No, it's like 5 degrees in Chicago. Hi, tell them Johnny Waddle is here. I don't know if you're still there. Johnny Wad. Hi, Johnny Wad. I don't know if it's weird. I like pulling. Okay. Yes, I love you. Okay, so somebody asked, you for the most part live a normal life? For the most part, yes. And my life would be very normal if I had been diagnosed at a much younger age. But because I wasn't diagnosed until I was 40 years old, I had years of trauma, and I had 4 really bad psychotic episodes, which if you're interested in learning about those or what those are like, there's a video on the homepage of my channel. There's a couple of them that talk about my psychotic experiences. But if I had been diagnosed earlier and not misdiagnosed multiple times throughout my life, and if I had been living on medication, my life would be really normal. I would be really used to managing my illness. I would be really used to understanding my illness. I would be living a normal life like everyone else. And the issue with me is because I was diagnosed so late, I have PTSD, I have anxiety, I have another diagnosis of ADHD. So I have all these other things. And I stopped working when I got my diagnosis. And it's not because I got my diagnosis. Well, sort of it is, pretty much. It is, because there was no way I could have done the job that I previously did. It would have been way too much stress. I worked for an ad agency. I was responsible for spending millions of dollars on behalf of my clients. And there was no way I could ever do that job again. And any job that I had would have caused me to have more stress in my life. And stress is what causes bipolar episodes. So my husband works, and, he said, I don't see the point of you getting a job as, a barista just to work, if it's going to cause you more stress. Because it's not the job. It's like the interaction with people. It's like having to be somewhere. It's like sleep is so crucial. So if something stressful happens to me, like I lose a loved one or I have a family situation, I might stop sleeping and only get a few hours of sleep a night, which could send me into hypomania, which could send me into mania, and then I have a major episode. And if I wasn't on medication, that would go to a very dark, scary place. But because I'm on medication, I did have a severe traumatic event after I was diagnosed. My dog died in a horrible way right in front of my face, but I was on a heavy prescription of Lamictal, and I went like 3 nights without sleeping, and I was lucid enough with the medication to agree to put myself in the hospital. And I would have never been able to do that without medication, because when you're not on medication and you have a psychotic episode and you're in psychosis, you don't know you're sick. So, and in fact, you are adamant that you're not sick, and everyone else around you is not understanding reality. You all of a sudden have the insight into the real reality, and everyone else is just kind of out there. So, but because of the medication, I was able to put myself in the hospital. I was able to be in the hospital for 5 days, get out, have my doctor add an antipsychotic so that I don't go into psychosis, which would include hearing voices, believing things that aren't real, seeing things that aren't real, everything, for me, everything. Believing that people were responding to my thoughts, things of that nature. But the medication helped me avoid that. So that's not really normal, but outside of that, all the times outside of that, it was fairly normal. And it's not normal to like not have a job, I don't think. Hi Joey Smack, if you're still there. Do you take anything so right now I take 400 milligrams of Lamictal, and I was taking Geodon for a while, actually ever since the situation with my dog happened, where he died. Basically, he got hit by a car right in front of my face. So I went off the Geodon recently because I felt like it wasn't necessary at the moment, and I have been okay so far, but I've gone off of it a couple of times and then had to go back on because I would have angry blow-ups where my anger would get out of control and I would blow up over nothing. So, but it's been a while since I've been off it, so I'm hoping that I can stay off of it, because all of the antipsychotics have side effects, and Geodon can affect your blood sugar, and my mom had diabetes, so that's a concern for me. And my doctor told me not to worry about it, but it's still like, if Lamictal has kept me safe for years, then I can just take that for now. And if something were to happen, where I would start to lose control of myself, I would add back in Geodon or another medication. So there's that. You got any cool ghost stories? Yeah, so Joseph, servant of God, Joseph, servant of God, said, I had anger, but I had to learn how to dispel it by getting sober from drugs and alcohol and writing everything out and feeling all my feelings instead of trying to avoid them all. Yeah, so I agree with that. You definitely need to address all your feelings. And particularly with bipolar disorder, therapy helps with that. I was in 4 years of therapy right after I was diagnosed. And I go back to group therapy when I start to have issues in my life. I go back to group counseling, outpatient, 3 days a week at an outpatient hospital program, which is counseling after counseling after counseling. So, I don't know what happened there. I might have missed some messages, so if you have a question, just ask it again. Refuse. Okay, so Dave, if you are still there, he said, I have a brother-in-law who refuses to take medication. That's a problem with a lot of us. And it's not necessarily because we're just don't want to take medication. It's not necessarily because we're in denial. Sometimes it's a symptom. So like with bipolar disorder, there's this thing called anosognosia, which means that you have the unawareness of sickness, which I talked about a few minutes ago. But it's actually a symptom. And sometimes it can take years before somebody is able to recognize that they have to take medication. It's one of the biggest problems with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Stiak. Barium makes me manic. The dye and MRI machines and chemtrails. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that's anything that affects me. Chanel, you're so funny. Funny. This live thing is making you anxious. How are you doing, stuff? I'm good. I'm just trying to like keep up with the comments. I don't want to miss any important. Can I have a shout out, Caitlin? Hi, Caitlin. You're under Brianna. Hi, Victoria. I have, and the doctor tells me lithium is the only drug that will work in my case. At 39 years, I started taking it, and maybe. Okay, so Gooey McDougal, if you are having that kind of side effect from medication, you need to you need to see another doctor, because there are thousands of medications out there. Maybe not thousands, but there's hundreds of medications out there. And if you have to take lithium, if you have to take an antipsychotic, then there's other antipsychotics that you can try that may not cause that side effect, which I haven't heard of explosive diarrhea as being a side effect of any medication before. So that's new to me, but I'm not going to say that that's not possible, because anything is. Hi, TR, Oju. Okay, so you guys are getting into it in the chat. If you guys have anything bipolar related that you want to talk about, any questions that you have, and ask me if this is like a ask me anything. So ask me anything, whatever you want, as long as it's appropriate or relates to bipolar or the current situation of the world, which I'm happy to talk about, because that has put me into so much stress and so much anxiety. That was the other medication I take that I forgot to mention. Somebody asked me what medication I take. I take 400 milligrams of Lamictal, which is the max dose in the that my doctor will prescribe. I've seen people in other countries, like on Reddit and stuff, say they're taking like 800 milligrams, but my doctor will only go up to 400 milligrams, and it's because of the side effects. With Lamictal, you have really sensitive to light. Light can burn your eyes. So like there are certain times a day where I cannot go outside without sunglasses, or my eyes, I just won't be able to open them. They'll water and they'll be too hard to open. No, I don't have to get any blood work with Lamictal. Which is nice. With lithium, you have to get blood work all the time. But yeah, I don't have to get any blood work or anything. But I started on 150 milligrams of Lamictal, and then I went up to 400 over the years as I had like trauma in my life. And I could always go back down, but that's not something I want to try right now, because I'm doing well on the medication level that I'm at. So Joseph, servant of God. Okay, so Lamictal is not good for everybody. It's one of the top drugs. But Geodon is also an antipsychotic. Resveratrol is an antipsychotic. I don't know which ones you've tried. I tried over 20 different medications for bipolar disorder before I found one that worked. A lot of people who don't have bipolar disorder don't understand that. And it's frustrating. So, hi, Nicholas Haddon. Love you too. They had me on zippers though. Okay, so that's Abilify, right? Or zippers adult, or is that Geodon? I think that's Abilify. I have been on 13. I hear you. Yeah, so I mean, I tried Zyprexa, olanzapine. I've never tried Seroquel, believe it or not. Abilify, lithium, uh, one of the new ones like Vraylar or something like that. But I've tried a ton of them. It's blurry. What milligram level are you on Abilify? I'm just curious because the reason I ask is because I have bipolar 1, right? And you mentioned that you had a full-blown episode. I was on Abilify for a year and I was only on 10 milligrams. And come to find out, my current psychiatrist says, whoa, 10 milligrams, that's not enough for somebody with bipolar 1. That's not enough. You need to be on at least 15 milligrams. So for a long time I was under medicated, and that's another thing with bipolar disorder. I don't know if I've ever tried Zoloft. Yeah, Zyprexa made me gain a significant amount of weight in a very, very short period of time. And it also raised my blood pressure. So I had to take a blood pressure medication in conjunction with that, which is fun. You know, it's really frustrating because a lot of people are like big pharma and they just want you to be addicted to pills and everything else. And it's so frustrating because a lot of us don't have a choice. And we can't meditate away our bipolar, or we can't pray away our bipolar. Our lifeline is medication. And that's why we're able to function in the world and not live in insane asylums like they used to have. However, insane asylums is an outdated, horrible word for a mental health facility, but certain people still like to use that term. But we do need to bring back long-term care facilities, but definitely not the kind that we used to have, because of the anosognosia and our inability to tell that we're sick. I have bipolar too. It's blurry. I do admit that lithium has those side effects. I started on it during my 40s, and had to leave my job because I was uncomfortable. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is something that happens to a lot of people. Okay, so I guess I'm really lucky, but side effects suck. That's what happens. Yeah, if people do that, Chanel, you can just block them. Okay. Oh, I'm behind. I don't know where I was. Let me go backwards. Yes, I love yoga. It's good for, yeah, 10 milligrams. I think I need to get a 300 injection every month. Yeah, I hear the injection is really good, that the Abilify injection works really good. That's what I've heard. But like I said, I'm not an expert. Just for me, the pill, my doctor told me that wasn't enough for bipolar 1. Bipolar 2 might be a totally different situation. Do you like, so that's the last question I see. If anybody has any questions that got missed, and I'm reading all your guys' comments. I did see somebody put they were bipolar 2, and somebody else put they had an episode in 2024. That sucks. It takes a couple years to recover, right? At least that is what it's been like for me every time I have a major episode. You need some CBD oil and some gummies. I don't know if I need that. I don't know if I need that or not. I definitely need my Lamictal. I definitely need that. I don't know if I need gummies though, or CBD. But I hear that kind of stuff does work. Hi, Jason. Hold on, you guys. To do. I'm doing eyeliner. Yeah, dude, totally block a troll. Anything inappropriate, just block them. They don't need to be there. They're only there to cause trouble. Joseph. I've been in psych wards like 10 times. So actually more than that, probably like 15. So you're not alone. I've been there a lot, so seems like a lot. And then my friend Athena has been hospitalized over 20 times. You guys, I did a live stream with my friend Athena. See, like that needs to be like blocked. Whoever, I don't even know what that means. If it doesn't make sense and it's like seems like it's pervy, it's probably pervy. Just delete them. It also might be a machine. Because there are, you know, bot machines that come and put hate stuff in there. I don't know why they do that either. It's really annoying. God, it's so quiet. It's so nice. That's a good point to bring up. You guys probably don't know that people with bipolar disorder can be sensitive to sounds. Like extra sensitive to sounds. So like if I'm listening to like, if somebody puts on like heavy metal or something, it will physically like make me angry. And there's a lot of stuff like that happens with me with noises. Have you heard about Robert? He was, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to you guys about diarrhea anymore because I'm not sure how valid that is, and and the reason why is because I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like rude or anything, but I'm afraid like people are going to start coming in here and like trolling on that comment. So if that's happening to you, it's a horrible side effect. I understand. I've never had that kind of side effect. I did actually get constipation with medication, and that happened to me when I was very young and I was hospitalized. And this was actually something like 22 years ago or something. I was hospitalized and I could not go. And I kept telling the nurses and the staff, you know, I can't go because the medication did that to me. And instead of responding to it, they gave me laxative. And I completely overflowed their toilet. So, if you're agitated, no sound is great. Is there no sound? People have no idea how many people are actually masking psych. Fiber gummies. Well, I don't need them anymore, Ryan. I was like 16 at the time. But that's a good idea for anybody that might be experiencing that. Okay, cool. I'm okay. You know, people are going to do what they do. It's a live chat. You deal with like whatever. There's always going to be people that pop in there and say stuff that's inappropriate. And, you know, what can I do about it? I don't really care. I mean, it's disruptive to everyone else, but that's why we have Chanel. She's helping us out. Hi, Nuka Nooter. Nuka Neater. Man, there are a lot of people. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Evan. It's been forever. I'm going to start doing more lives. I'm doing this thing right now with YouTube. It's called a live boot camp. YouTube wants people to go live more. And I enjoy going live. I have fun talking to you guys, and making videos is a lot of work, and I will spend a really long time making a video, and then like it'll get like a couple hundred views, and then it won't, no one will watch it again. So it can be frustrating, but doing lives is it's just nice to like hang out with you guys. I agree with you, Joseph. I wish people would be like, but we might have like teenagers in the chat. Don't you guys have to be at school? Like, people talking about pee and poo is so lowbrow. Like, if that's all you can come up with, like, you definitely need to go to school for that. How long is this gonna be? I don't know, dude. I have no idea. Until I get bored, I guess. But anyways, I'm doing this YouTube until I get bored, until you guys all go away, until you guys get bored of talking to me. I know, right? Chanel, just block them. They'll go away. Just block them. You know who's really good, who would like just block you like in seconds was Eric when he was a mod. He would just like, I never even saw anything. So he either no one was, no, I'm not saying, I appreciate you, Chanel. I'm not saying anything like that. You're just nice and you don't want to kick, but I'm with you too. Because like then there's real side effects, and then there's people that are just trying to, I'm not offended by compliments. Eric, did you change your screen name? Or is this a different Eric? Let me know. Either way, hi Eric. Because people have real side effects, so it's hard, but when somebody comes in and starts talking about that, that's potentially, and then it's frustrating because I'm like, what if that's really happening to someone? And I'm telling them I don't care. One sad individual with multiple accounts and nothing going on. Zippers is a zone. That's Abilify, right? I really didn't have any side effects with Abilify other than my eye would start twitching. And that happened after about a year. My eye started twitching. And that was scary because there's one side effect that can happen with a lot of antipsychotics for bipolar or schizophrenia, and it's called tardive dyskinesia. And it's terrifying because it's literally like when your muscles stop moving or twitch it without you even doing anything. So like your whole half your face can start doing something weird. And they actually started making medication for tardive dyskinesia that you take in conjunction with some antipsychotics. But that was one of the reasons why I was scared away from Abilify. But it's not something that happens to everyone. And that's the thing. Like, I was diagnosed medication when I was very young, and it almost killed me because I was allergic to it. And the medication that I'm on now has the same side effects that other medication has. But this medication doesn't cause me to have side effects. So I've had basically no problems with it and had TD in my head. Yeah. That's the thing that's frustrating, that like when people talk about, like, I'm just going to say this because I know there's people on there who are like, big pharma, people want to take medication instead of dealing with their problems, blah, blah, blah. The reason why people get upset with medications, one, it's a business, but the main reason is because like Abilify can cause tardive dyskinesia, right? Instead of making a medicine that mirrors Abilify, that includes whatever makes you not have tardive dyskinesia, instead of making that medication, they're going to keep Abilify here and then sell this medication that addresses tardive dyskinesia, instead of taking all those other medications that also cause it and updating them. That's why people hate the medical industry, and that's where it sucks. Hi, Renee. If you're getting tremors, you really, really need to see a doctor about that, because you got to get on a different medication, because that's a dangerous one. Tremors is like, that's like neurological, I think. So I think that one's one, like any kind of side effects from medication, you should definitely see someone. But I think there's a Evan said, I think there's a genetic test people can do to give a better chance at effective medication. It's not actually a thing. I don't know about that. I never heard of that. Are you ever going to write your own story? You should. I mean, I know a lot more about your story. Ryan, yes, I'm still working on my book. I just haven't written it in a long time. I was mourning the death of my dog and like all these other things. Because some of you guys don't know, I had a little dog named Sebastian who I lost in the end of June. Do you ever feel like you've been somewhere else before? Deja vu. Yes, constantly. But it's not deja vu. It's places that I've dreamed about before. And there's a theory about it that I learned about when I was very young, when I was kicked out of normal high school and went to like the high school for the special kids because I kept refusing to go to school. What it is that your subconscious and your brain gets ahead of you and starts drawing conclusions. And then you dream about it, and then you end up being in a place that is almost like exactly like that, familiar. For example, I just went to Colorado, and like a few months before I went to Colorado, I dreamt about being like in this mountain and like with these people. And then when I went to Colorado, I ended up in that place, which I didn't have any plans to go to. It was like Red Rock, this place called Red Rock. I had no plans to go there before the trip or anything like that, but my brain drew like conclusions ahead of time. So anyways, I just discovered your channel and binged many of your videos. Thank you so much, Sophie. That means so much to me. Yeah. I don't know if you heard in any of the videos that you watched, but it does completely, psychotic episodes do completely turn your life upside down. They're extremely painful. But it usually took me a couple of years to feel like myself again, to get over enough of the guilt and enough of the shame to like function in the world again, because it is so like, there's so much shame and so much guilt when you have a psychotic episode and you come back from it, and it's so confusing because your brain just like goes to this place that like you become a person that you don't even recognize, and like reality isn't real, and like losing your mind and like believing all these things that aren't real is really weird. It's really weird. It's not like doing drugs. It's different. It's like one time when I was in psychosis, I remember I was standing outside of 7-Eleven. I was basically wandering the streets homeless at this point because I was in full-blown psychosis. And I was looking ahead of me, and my vision flipped. Like it, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like my vision like shook, like if I was looking at a screen and the picture jolted, like, and it was so weird. And I always think about it. And like, reality becomes really weird when you've lost sight of it. Like you really look at the world differently. I don't know if any of you other guys with bipolar have experienced that after experiencing psychosis, but I had so many different psychotic episodes and things that happened to me in that episode, or thoughts that I had, that you look at the world differently after that. You see things that other people don't necessarily see. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. megalomaniacal people out there with untreated symptoms, whereas so many good-hearted people really genuinely want to fix the problem. Yeah. Most of the people who have either bipolar disorder or schizophrenia are homeless at some point. And it's because they've lost touch with reality and they can't stop moving. Like, whenever I was in psychosis, I could not stop moving. Like, I had to, like, my brain was constantly telling me to go somewhere else. Like, ADHD on high. Excuse the interruption. Now everybody's going to hear you peeing because there's no fan in there.
I just need it.
Here, I'll just go to the other room so nobody else listening to him pee. I literally trekked thousands of miles and just could not stop moving too. Yeah, I walked all over San Diego and all over Long Beach. And what's really weird is that part of the places that I was walking around when I was psychotic, I actually live in that area now. It's just like, I don't know how to explain it. Nuh-uh. Are you in Long Beach, Joseph? Or LA County, anyway? I was living in the South Bay, and I ended up, because you can take the train back and forth. That's crazy. I love Long Beach. I love California. I love all the culture here. Back here. This thing is cool. It's one of these. So that's why I don't recommend weed for anyone, is because it can trigger psychosis. In a lot of people, it can trigger psychosis. Even in people that don't have a mental illness, it can trigger psychosis. Especially the stuff that they have nowadays. It's not like back when I was a kid and you went down the street to get marijuana from your friend's buddy, older brother who sells it, and it's like dirt weed. It's not like that. Now it's like super, super concentrated, high concentrated, crazy stuff that you can buy at the store. And it's causing people to experience psychosis that don't even have mental illnesses, according to my psychiatrist. So I do not recommend it for anyone. That is such a massive change from Oklahoma and Tulsa to Palm Springs is so freaking hot. Government shutting down again. Hi, Hodge. Hey, Homestead. Back in New York now, but love California. People love California. So what, Joseph? Are you going to live in California or New York your whole life? My neighbor's from New York, and I feel like most people, like, either if they're from New York, they want to live in California or New York or both places. But people that like love New York are really loyal to New York, I've found. Chanel, that sucks, man. I'm sure I went like, I would go like probably a week with a couple hours of sleep, but 86 hours consecutive, I don't know that. I don't know if I ever stayed up that much. I'm sure I did. When you experience mania or psychosis, your body no longer needs sleep. My sister was just diagnosed with BP and she was having these. But finally stopped and then BP started. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that. How old is your sister? Because bipolar disorder isn't typically diagnosed until the late teens, early 20s. And the real episodes come from stress. So what might have happened was she might have been masking all this stress, and then she came off of it, and then everything hit her at once just because she was bound to have an episode. So The two aren't necessarily related. Yeah, I can imagine. I love Long Beach. I love Long Beach because of all the culture, and it's very diverse, and it's near the beach, and it's not a bunch of snobby people. Yeah, the beach is awesome. What do you guys got going on today? Who would join me for a live, like, say, if I, like, because I'm seriously thinking about doing a lot more lives, because that's what I was going to tell you guys earlier. I lose my train of thought all the time, but I'm planning on doing a lot more lives because I got this thing from YouTube. Like I said, they want people to do more lives. So they're offering, they like had me like sign up for this course. So I'm like in this 8-week course live bootcamp thing. So I'm going to be doing at least 3 lives before the end of February. And so this is the first one, but I might be doing more of them like regularly, just because like I'm all by myself and I need company. I don't work because I have bipolar disorder, and I could work, probably, maybe not. I mean, I could, but then I would probably have an episode, or it would just be really hard on my mental health, and that's only because I was diagnosed so late in life. You mean like a panel? Chanel. Panel. I don't know. What do you mean by a panel? What is a panel, Alita Stark? The boot. Are you asking about the boot camp that I was talking about? If you guys are just tuning in, I have bipolar disorder. If you're scrolling right now, I've been living with bipolar disorder my whole life. I have a channel where I talk about bipolar disorder. I will be talking about more and more subjects that are not bipolar disorder, but yeah, Evan, my buddy, we could be buddies. We are buddies. So there are 2 people lives, like I could do with another creator. So I'll probably do a live with Jess at some point if she wants to. She has a channel called Our Bipolar. You guys can check her channel out. She's going to be doing lives too. I think she's starting with lives like once a month. But she has a good channel. And she's really sweet and a good person. So I forgot why she came up, but I lost my train of thought. Bipolar people all feel alone. We do feel alone because less than 3% of the society has bipolar disorder, and most people don't understand it. I think my sister always had it. I just think it got worse from the weed smoking. Her weed smoking increased so much. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm sure that when you're putting something unhealthy in your body, like marijuana smoke, it's going to affect your body. But I don't know. I'm not a brain person. I don't know. Like, I think if you're like using uppers and stuff like that, that is most definitely going to make your mental health worse. If you are drinking alcohol, it's going to make your mental health worse. So if you're using marijuana, sure, it'll make your mental health worse. But there are a lot of people that still use it, and it's medicinal for them. And I don't have, it's a very individual thing, but if it's something that you've never done, I would suggest not doing it. Has anyone ever watched the Raw Sammy channel? Okay, Astia, thank you so much for asking that. Yes, and I was really worried about Raw Sammy. I don't know what happened to her. She was really sweet, and I think that she probably, either her medication stopped working or she stopped taking it, and she had a really bad psychotic episode where she was doing live streams on YouTube. She has bipolar disorder. She kind of went viral years ago. Not kind of, she did years ago, because she was one of the first people on YouTube to share their story. And she shared her psychosis story. And you might be able to find it on YouTube still from people who've re-uploaded it. I included some of her footage in a video that I did once before. But it's unlisted now. It's just a video that I wasn't happy with in the end. But yeah, it was really, really sad what happened to her. And I wish I could talk to her. I wish I could tell her, please come back. Like, you are so important. You could do so much. But I don't know if she went psychotic and started using. I don't know what her issue was, but she became extremely thin. And she was in psychosis live streaming. And it was very, very sad. And if you go to her channel now, it just says YouTube has been too stressful for me. So she doesn't even have anything up. But that's good. Does she make anything now? Wait, what does a Perkman ones say? She is a total jerk. Who's a total jerk? You're talking about Raw Sammy? She had a spirit named Kurt Cobain. Could I have a shot? Hi, Avery and Kathleen Forever. Okay, I see somebody got it. So it's always a good rule to follow the, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Oh, she did post something? Is it like to private subscribers only? Because I haven't seen anything. I do check on her channel every once in a while. But yeah, it's really sad. There's a lot of people online talking about bipolar disorder. So if you're newly diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I would strongly suggest looking on YouTube for different people's channels, because you can find support there. And Instagram, I found that's a really good place. There's a lot of people on Instagram with bipolar disorder. But I do want to point out, though, sometimes people making these videos can focus on all the negative of bipolar, all the symptoms. And it's true, like, we struggle on a daily basis, but it's also like we live very normal lives when we're on medication. And so I think there's like part of a misconception that it's like a miserable, horrible existence all the time, or it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys know what I'm saying. Yeah. I wish she would start posting videos for everyone, because I would love to like talk to her and give her support. Hi, Shanstali. Thank you. Hey, somebody gave me rubies. I don't know what that means, but thank you. There's 5 rubies up there on the top. I really appreciate that, you guys. I know what it is like. Exactly. Did you guys know that if you have bipolar disorder, it's a precursor for a high IQ? Like it's if you have a high IQ, one of the things that you could experience as a risk factor is bipolar disorder or something like that. But Einstein had bipolar disorder. So we can be smart, like super smart. Highly sensitive people with gifts. Do any of you guys identify as an empath? An empath is somebody that notices kind of other people's subconsciously notices other people's tics, voice inflection, all of these things, and empathizes with them so much that they feel exactly what that other person is feeling physically. So that's what an empath is. And a lot of times people with bipolar disorder have extra have extreme empathy. I do. So like I would always cry at commercials. Like if I saw someone crying, I cry. If like I go to a funeral, I cry. I can't handle it. It's too much emotion for me because I see everyone around me and I can feel their pain. Um, what trauma did you experience growing up? Hi, Robert Montoya. What trauma did you? I experienced extreme trauma. No doubt intelligence leads to insights that make you stand out. Yes. I am a super empath. I think we talked about that before, Evan. That doesn't surprise me. It is a blessing and a curse. When you're an empath, sometimes you can easily tell when people are lying or being untruthful to you. And you can understand, once you understand that you're an empath, you can understand a lot about other people. Is 120 a high IQ? I don't know. I have never actually had mine tested. I did do like an online test one time, but I was manic at the time and it came out really high, like genius level, but I was manic at the time. So I think it was just a fluke because I think I just went through it so fast. I have no idea how it happened. But then I took one when I wasn't manic and it was like totally normal. So I'm pretty sure mine's like normal. I don't know. Yeah, bipolar people are geniuses. Yeah, we got to focus on the positive. What? Shots in her eyes. I like when I see somebody on TV, like if they're like it's a horrible scene and they're like having their leg cut or something, I'll feel it. Like my body will start tingling there. Because I just have so much empathy. I just empathize with it so much. But it's actually something that's really hard to live with, especially nowadays, especially with social media and especially with the world that we live in. Severe welcome. Oh, okay. Yeah. But I like wanted to do a live because I've been struggling so much with a lot of things. One, grieving my dog. Two, my husband got referred to like a neurosurgeon because he found out that, so he has like kind of a limp when he walks, and he's always walked weird, but like a little bit different, you know, like he's always walked kind of different, like, but he went to the doctor and they said, hey, you have spastic gait, you need to get an MRI. So he got an MRI and he was worried he was going to have like MS or something like that, and it turned out he has a lipoma that has grown into his spine, into the nerves of his spine. So that's a little nerve-wracking and scary because if he needs surgery or something, then I'll have to take care of him. It's also dangerous. So that's been anxiety riddled. But the majority of the pain that I'm feeling is waking up every day thinking about families being ripped apart and how the United States is being turned into a police state. And it's devastating to me. So that's what I've been really struggling with lately. And it causes me to like have angry outbursts and things like that, but I'm doing the best I can. Thank you, Evan. Thanks for coming. It was so good to see you or hear from you again. I appreciate you. Native creator, bless you. My brother's texting me. You guys, he had to put down his cat today. And he's texting me right now. I might have to go. I think I have to go. My brother has 3 cats and they are his world. He loves them to pieces, takes them walking every day, spends all of his time with his cats. He doesn't really like people very much. But one of his cats has cancer and he got it euthanized about 5 minutes ago, and he's texting me. And I don't know if I can look at the text with you guys on. I might not be there right away. Yeah, so he just texted me she passed after the first shot, which means like she was ready to go. Because when you euthanize an animal, there's two shots. The first one is like a pain is for pain, and it's like super super strong dose of like almost like fentanyl, I guess. And then the second one is the one that actually like stops your heart. But if a cat is like really, really like sick and like ready to go, sometimes they'll just pass out from the first shot, the painkiller one. And that's what happened with my cat that passed away in the end of March or May. It was, no, I think it was the end of March, because I lost a cat that I really loved last year too, Sweetie. And I was telling my brother, she may go after the first shot. And he texted me, she went after the first shot. So, yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible saying goodbye to your animals. They're part of our family. So I don't know if he wants me to call him. So I think I'm just going to call him and see how he's doing, because that happened. But I am going to be doing more lives, you guys. So please, watch out for those. I may or may not schedule them ahead of time, because sometimes I just like get like, oh, I need to talk to somebody. And in regards to politics on my channel, if you're watching this later or if you're watching this now, right now, it's not politics. It's human decency, human rights. You can be for strong border protection and against what's happening. I don't think people understand that, because what's happening is wrong. So I'll probably be more vocal about that kind of stuff moving forward. Fair warning. I don't know how not to. Yeah, we have, as people with bipolar, we have so many emotions and things that we feel when things in the outside world are going crazy. It affects us deeply. So I've been living on my couch a lot, but like I said, yesterday I went to yoga. Today I'm doing a live stream, so things are looking up. It's going to be a great day. I think we're going to take the dogs to the park. I'm going to try and get my husband to take the dogs to the park and hang out. But yeah, I've been thinking about maybe doing a live stream from the dog park and just hanging out, like whatever, but that will be a lot more. But yeah, it's been fun talking to you guys. I'm going to get going so I can call my brother, because I'm worried about him. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for modding, Chanel. I always love talking to you. Hopefully this is a good time for you. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joseph. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go. But thank you guys. ER blinking. I missed what was your message? Good to see you. Refuse 202. It's like oh, I'm so sorry, Chanel. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I know it's so hard for you because you have so many. So you're probably losing a baby like multiple times a year. So I get it. I totally get it. It's so hard because we want all this love in our life, and then, they go away. They have to go. You French? Nope. Not French. Alaskan, native Alaskan or something like that. Alaskan Indian. I don't know if Indian's like a Alaskan Indian, I think. 60 dogs, but she was my own. Aww. Thank you, Joseph. I'm sorry, Chanel. That's horrible. I love your doggy videos. You have to post more doggy videos. But anyways, I have to go. I have to call my brother, you guys. But Chanel, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for modding. Everybody, thank you to Michelle, to Chanel for modding. And Yeah, that's exactly, that will always, losing a loved one is always going to push you over the edge. But you know what, Chanel, you just have to, I know I'm going to say bye too, but you know what, you just have to like focus on all the good memories and remember your dog, and like, um, they'll be with you again. All right, I'm going to go. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. See ya. Bye, Chanel.